To the major breaking news on Bills safety Damar Hamlin. This morning, Hamlin is at a hospital in Cincinnati after he collapsed on the field last night during the first quarter, and we've learned that he remains in critical condition right now.
Our sports director, Adam Benigni, was at the game, and now he's live outside that hospital in Cincinnati with the latest. Adam, what can you tell us?
Melissa, Pete, good morning, everyone. That's really the new information that came just before 2 a.m., and it came from the Buffalo Bills, updating the league statement that came out late in the evening between, I would say, 10 and 11 o'clock that confirmed that Hamlin was in critical condition. The Bills went on to confirm basically what we all saw, that it was a cardiac event, cardiac arrest that took place that caused Hamlin to collapse in the first quarter after taking that hit. And you saw the medical response quickly on the field, able to restore his heartbeat, eventually get him. They took their time doing that to get him into the ambulance, to see that he was able to at least have the heartbeat restored and have some measure of stability before they transported him here to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center, which I should mention is a level 1 trauma center, very similar to ECMC back in Buffalo. And this is part of what we all saw unfold was really part of the NFL's emergency action plan, where multiple levels of medical care, the collaboration that we saw on the field to deal with this situation, both from team medical officials and independent medical officials, to ultimately get him here to this hospital in critical condition as of this morning.
And Adam, you mentioned earlier that part of the reason they held up the ambulance was also so his family could get down to the field. His mother was at the game last night.
Yeah, to clarify, the ambulance had left the field and they held it, it's my understanding, in the tunnel so that the family could accompany Hamlin here to this hospital. We had just come down from the press box, made our way once we realized that CPR was being administered and the severity of the situation. And so, yes, the family did accompany Hamlin here. And Pete, you know, it reminds me a lot of, in 2007, I covered Kevin Everett, the former Bills tight end, with the spinal injury, and that game in Orchard Park. And then the NHL example of something similar, Richard Zednick, the former Florida Panther, Washington Capital, who in 2008 suffered the severed carotid artery in a game, and Les Bisson, who was attending for the Sabres, was able to stabilize him and reduce that bleeding and get him in stable condition. The level of response reminded me of that last night, but the emotions that you saw from the players as they were sent to the locker room, the coaches gauged that, and the NFL says under no circumstances did they consider resuming play last night. So we're here, we'll continue to hang out here and hope for some updates. So far the updates have come from the National Football League and from the team. We'll await some type of official statement if it does come from officials here at the University of Cincinnati Medical Center.
Yeah,
Back
Adam,
to you.
You just mentioned all of those different instances that so many of us remember, but the difference here is that all of us went to bed last night not knowing if Damar Hamlin was going to survive this and whether he was even alive. So waking up this morning knowing that he is in critical condition but alive at the hospital, we're all breathing somewhat a sigh of relief this morning. Adam, thank you.
That's obviously, if I could add one thing, Melissa, that's the obvious number one concern. And also in some discussion that's gone on in sports media and around the country with this story, both of those instances I just mentioned, those games continued. Yeah. In this case, obviously it was suspended, and a lot of people consider it a very significant and positive step forward for the National Football League that the correct decision was made.
Right.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, thanks very much, Adam Benigni.